just to be clear, just because I'm eating this delicious pizza does not mean it was okay to send it. So, yesterday I got my hair cut. I didn't get my hair cut because I thought it looked terrible all the time. Like, I feel like when I combed it and I was on painkiller already and things were cool, I got it cut because it looked terrible during some of the things I do. Like when I first wake up and vlog, it's a mess. When if I'm outside working or something, it's a mess. But if this is my bed head, I can live with that. If this is I'm outside sweaty and I'm a mess head, then I'll take it as a better worst case scenario. That's why I like my hair short. And this is my hair after it's combed. It's fine, right? It's fine. What really I like about it is that it's fine even when it's a mess. I was up until 3 a.m. last night working on the branding for my channel. And it's a simple thing, right? But it matters in a way that's hard to define. I feel like I don't choose videos because of their technical quality, like how crisp the camera work is or how beautiful the shot is, but there are channels that exist solely because they are beautiful. Devin Supertramp, it's beautiful people doing amazing things. And that's like the thing about his channel. If he captured it using a cell phone, nobody would care. Part of what makes his channel so great are these little subtle details that we didn't even know we were looking for. People like beautiful things. So I'm working with this guy. I'm not gonna tell you his name because he might not want you to know his name. I haven't cleared it in advance with him. But I think he's better at branding than I am, and I think I'm half decent at it. And I wanna read to you what he's writing to me. Now you should know beforehand, I said that I wasn't sure I liked my thumbnails. I feel like there's the top half of it is the branding, right? It says Woody's gamer tag and then a little blurb. And the bottom half of it are 3 images that are too small to value, that are oftentimes like a confused mess. You know, it looks great in large print when I put it together, but then when I see it afterwards, I'm like, oh, look, it's a poorly lit indoor tractor. I'm not sure that sells it. And I went to Casey's, and Casey Neistat. Now, God, I don't want to be a Casey Neistat copy. I want to be Woody. But that doesn't mean that I can't learn from some of his success. And something about his thumbnails combined with his titles, which, with all due respect, are a little clickbaity. I think if he somehow watches this, he'll giggle and say, yeah, okay, they're a little clickbaity. I think today his video is about bodyguards or something, and there he is between 2 bodyguards on the red carpet, and you're like, I gotta see it. This is the most amazing first class ever, and you're like, all right, I gotta see this. So often with his videos, sometimes I don't even intend on watching, but the thumbnail and title draw me in. And anyway, let's circle back to me. He wrote, sorry, I wish I could look at the camera while I read this, but you get what you get. If I didn't know who Casey was, the majority of his thumbnails wouldn't make me want to click his videos. Within the first 4 rows, I click on the 2 with cameras, the one with the boat, and maybe the one with the shaving cream, and one of the cute girls. You're definitely ahead there. You've got 3 chances and 2 titles, so 5. What he's talking about are the 3 images I put in my thumbnail, the title that's above it, and then of course the actual title of the video that YouTube has. So you have 5 chances to sell your video. With the images alone, that's 3 for someone to say, that appeals to me. Flamethrowers, drones, do-it-yourself, tractors, etc. Your vlogs are predictable enough, in a good way, that your existing fans can say, oh, he worked on the stable more. This is something I'm following. You're actually doing things in your vlogs, and that's a different lifestyle and more entertaining to watch, and kind of a progressing storyline. From a technical standpoint, I like seeing how he uses his gear, but that's the extent of it. He's often doing neat stuff, but it seems like it's done for the sake of the show, and if I didn't have an interest in film/tech, I don't know that I'd even bother. Now, I like Casey more than he does, but I still see his side. I think he's perfect to get a logistical inspiration from, but your subjects are very different, and I think that what you've got going now illustrates that perfectly. Casey might do more with his thumbnails and his videos if his videos had more of a long-term substance. Sorry, I'm reading poorly. One of these is more interesting and pleasant than the other, and I'll put that over there. The newer one says, this guy has his stuff together and is worth giving a watch. If I could always replace text with you could always replace text with an episode number, but I think the blurb helps. I think I read it before the title of the video and it gives you a chance to do some not awful clickbait titles and diversify. Like I mentioned earlier, think of it as you having 5 chances to grab someone's attention, and I can't think of another YouTuber that has the same setup. That might be because it's high effort. To choose a thumbnail is tricky-ish, and some people don't even do that well. I kind of choose 3 thumbnails for each of my videos and 2 titles, like an upper and a lower one. So it takes more time, but I'm happy to do that. You've got a great gig here because you don't have to rely on flashy stuff that you're doing during the day, like Casey, to keep people engaged. They're here to watch you, and it doesn't matter what you're doing. You could upload a video of you clicking around on Reddit and shooting shit for an hour and it'd get 30,000 views. I don't think that's true. I think it would get a bunch of unsubs, but in terms of bringing in new viewers, I think figuring out those stills during the day could help a ton. That might be smart. I think in terms of brand improvement, you benefit from a very quick intro and possibly an outro. Nothing that has to be updated each time, just a quick preset full logo and a cute noise, and something similar on the outro with a predetermined fade that can drag long into the project for 10 seconds. I envision something 2 to 3 seconds long. I hate most intros, but the harsh intros exits are pretty jarring. I think PKA could really benefit from this. Okay. In terms of an intro, I think what Casey does is pretty neat. Like he takes a little flash, usually some music, like there's a hook in the first 10, 15 seconds of the video. I like that. Whereas mine are kind of a slow roll. I feel like the most interesting parts of my video are 4 minutes in, and that's probably a mistake. I should have something interesting a few seconds in. So I'll see what I can do on that. It takes a little planning and editing, and I don't know. There's a certain art here, and I don't think I'm a great artist. So all I can be is a better artist, I suppose. I don't know. And on the outro, I'm just starting that. He probably didn't catch on to it because there's only been one. Today we'll make 2 videos that have had any kind of an outro, but I think just numbering it, putting a song on there is kind of the stamp I need. In terms of an intro, I really don't like standard intros. Like what I used to do with mine, I think it was 12 seconds at one point, but then I got it down to like under 5. I don't know. I think that boilerplate thing, it needs to be super snappy if it's going to be anything at all. Anyway, I'm updating my branding. I think branding is interesting. You may not, so I'm going to cut the branding talk, but leave a comment and tell me, what hooks you into watching a video, because that's the goal. I'm trying not to do too scummy on the clickbait titles, but they also really, really work. So I'm trying to find a balance there of, like, okay, I love Casey. I do. And I don't want him to take this in a negative way if it somehow gets around to him. But I have seen him do at least 3 titles that implied that he's divorcing his wife. Things like breaking up is hard to do and stuff like that. And then you watch it and it's actually, he's moving away from American Airlines or something. That's further than I would ever want to push it. Watch this come back to haunt me. But that's further than I have any plans of pushing it. On the other hand, if I trim the muff on this lens thing, then, and I write trim my muff, then to me that's kind of funny and catchy and at least representative of in the video. I don't know. To me there's a distinction there, but maybe to you there's not. Clickbait titles are tempting, but if you lose the trust of your viewer, then that's a bad thing too. So anyway, I've been focusing on my branding lately because I'm enjoying being a YouTuber again. That hasn't happened for a while, and this is part of it. Okay, we are kicking off our afternoon with lunch. And as usual, Jackie's driving. So The truth is, I think it's pretty neat when you guys send packages, you know, knives, trinkets, whatever. Sometimes you send me pictures of me. I've had pictures of Kyle. I've had pictures of me photoshopped onto Aquaman, and I get a kick out of all of them. I don't mean to seem ungrateful, but I really don't like pizzas. Like we just got back from lunch. Are you full?
Yes.
I'm
I don't eat Papa John's.
And Papa John's is my favorite. It's her not favorite. But in concept, it sounds amazing to have pizzas delivered to you all the time. In reality, if it happened to you, I think you'd find that you're not in the mood for pizza as often as you think you're in the mood for pizza. And
especially teenagers. Teenagers are always in the mood for pizza.
Teenagers are always in the mood for pizza?
If you said, hope there's pizza, she'd eat the pizza.
Well, there's gonna be, so.
I don't think that's fair, but I think they're fattening us up.
For the kill, probably.
Probably. I think it's Kyle.
You bitches be ready. Killing ain't easy, and I'm not one to start with. That's from Waterworld.
You're taking us to dry land.
Killing's a hard thing to do well. Believe me, I'm not the one to start.
Both of us.
Did you watch that?
I like that movie! Yeah, I'm the only one that seems to like, there's a couple Kevin Costner films. Waterworld, I like Tin Cup, but I was gonna say The Postman is the other one, where people seem to act like they were terrible, but I thought they were really good. But anyway, everyone knows that, but stop it, she's bad at this game. Yeah, oh yeah, how about Dances with Wolves, that little known Kevin Costner thing that some people think.
Durham.
These are great films!
We live near that stadium.
She's not playing this game right. Anyway, someone sent us pizza just now, and I don't know. I guess thank you, but almost anything else would have been cooler. Thanks. Oh, and one more thing. I have to say this. That was a prepaid pizza, so that guy, I guess, had good intentions. Do not send pizzas that you haven't paid for. I've just evolved to the point where I tell them no thank you, and you think you're playing a prank on me, but you're really playing a prank on some small business owner, and it's not cool. So, while I had kind of a singular focus on the deck, I had a few other problems that I ignored. One of them is this thing. So, I guess just the nature of having some acreage is that you need to have fuel on site. This one's for diesel, and for whatever reason, the tires on it are fine, right? They hold air, and it works as they barely hold air, but it works mostly as it should. This thing completely doesn't work, and you see how it's a big mess? There's that bead sealer there. I actually filmed how to fix it. You can't see my air quotes. Like a week ago. And I had good luck with bead sealer before, but not this time. I just can't get those things to hold air. So I have a plan. So I bought this from Amazon like I always do. What? One? I thought it was going to be a pair. God darn it. All right, another one, another day. I'm sure it was me who messed this up and not like Amazon proper. I looked at so many tires when I was buying it because they had like half a dozen choices, and I guess some of them came in a pair and some of them came as just one tire. I guess I need to order the other tire before I can make any progress on the getting gas again situation. I think the golf cart's fine for a while. The mowers are all running on empty, but we only mow every 2 or 3 weeks. So it'll be fine, but now I need more to do. Man, I wish I could do more in here. As you guys know, I am waiting another 2 weeks before I can put this epoxy paint stuff on the floor. So because I can't put the paint on the floor, epoxy, I can't move the machines in. And because I can't move the machines in, I feel like I shouldn't be running the electrical on where I'm guessing the machines are going to fit. I'd really like to see them in place. And it's just waiting for concrete to dry is a big holdup. There is one thing I can do. I am pretty sure I want the power supply for the welder to be back here. One, the wire for it is really expensive because it's 50 amps and you have to use big, thick wire. Two, I think I want the ability to take it outside. So if I have it here, then I'm near like the deck where I could just weld out there on the grass. I'm near the garage door, I'm near this door, and I'll be able to do like sparky stuff or dirty stuff or whatever, maybe outdoor things outside. And I'll also have it here to be able to like do, I think I want it there. But I need to buy parts. So while I'm handcuffed on doing just about anything else, maybe I'll do that. I've picked up the things I need, but Painkiller Nearly is 1 hour from now. And that concerns me. I have a huge temptation to be like, you know what? There's not enough time. Chill, maybe have a snack, like do the graphics for Painkiller Nearly, and that's it, right? But I haven't done anything today. I mean, I've done stuff. I've worked on my branding. I installed Premiere Pro on my laptop to see if I can render on the road, give that a test. I've looked into the different video codecs of my camera to make sure I'm hitting the highest quality. I mean, I've done stuff, but I haven't done the things that I haven't marched toward like improving the property and going to the next step. And I feel like if I just do even this one thing, this one outlet for a welder, then I'll have pushed it forward. I'll have touched it today. So I'm gonna try and do that. Let's get it done. And now we will test this thing. So this should get 240, and it does. This should get 120. I might have to reverse them. No, it does. And this should get 120. And it does. That's what success looks like. To support my current equipment, this shop is going to need 5 or 6 220 or 240, whatever you call it, volt outlets. And because I decided to just do something, One of them is done. So that's nice. Also, that's the one that supports my welder. So a lot of them are interchangeable. Like they all just plug into 30 amp. That one's 50. It's a little harder to set up. It's the same, just thicker wires. But it's neat to me because now I have a welder. It's not in this room, so I don't really have it. Like I'd have to get it all the way over here, which is a pain in the butt. But if I needed to, I have a welder. And it kind of felt like I didn't have one ever since I moved here. There were little things I wish I could have done, but I didn't have a welder because I didn't have any place to plug it in. And now I do. So it's funny, like I'm happy that my standards are going up. I was really excited the first time I had one light fixture because there was a huge difference between having one and having zero. I was really excited when I first had one outlet because there's a big difference between having one and having zero. And then I got all the light fixtures in. And it was like, you know what? My outlets turn off with the lights. That's not good. Then I got all these outlets in. And now it's like, oh, I don't have a spot for my welder. So happily, this thing is coming along. And the things I'm fussing about are, I don't know, pretty minor. You know, like no spot for my welder compared to what I had before, which was like no power to this building at all. I don't know. I make such a big deal. I just touch it every day, and I worry I'm setting a standard for myself that I'm not going to meet. You know, there'll be a day where it's like, oh, you know what? I just wasn't me. But here, let me set up this tripod and talk to it. Hold on. There. I was talking to my friend. It was Mercadurka, and it was on the most recent Painkiller already. Watch it if you like. And they were teasing me lightheartedly about like productivity and such. They're like, you know, we don't all wake up thinking, let's go. I wonder what's on today's to-do list. I hope it's a big list, right? Most people think the exact opposite. Like, you know, I hope that there's not much on my to-do list. I hope that all my time is mine and I can do what I want with it. And I hear that. And I suppose like I'm just like everybody else. Like there's nothing special here. The one area where I feel like I'm different than, you know, how like Taylor might have self-described himself is that, like I remember when I worked at Cisco and I would live for the weekends, right? You work all week and you work and then maybe I'd go to school at night. That's when I got my master's degree, or I'd have hockey or whatever. And the weekends was that time where I didn't really have much on my to-do list. And the weekends that I finished exhausted, maybe I was doing woodworking all weekend long, or maybe I don't know. So the weekends where I was exhausted because I was on a project, I would look back on Sunday night and be like, damn, this is a good weekend. And the weekends where I'd play video games or just watch Netflix or something like that, I'd look back on Sunday and think, man, I wasted my weekend. And it was that programming that made me start thinking, like, I like doing stuff. You know what? Like, I feel better about myself when I get out and go. You know, depression. Like, do all of us fight depression at least a little bit sometimes? I do. You guys who know my whole story know that it's a big history. I feel better when I get outside and charge my solar batteries. I feel there's a happiness, a sense of accomplishment, a joy. I feel like I'm parenting well when Colin and I are taking on a project together. Obviously, there's more to parenting than just getting stuff done around the house, but it's like a team building thing. It's good. That's why I do stuff. It's not that I enjoy doing this stuff most of the time. It's that I enjoy the afterglow of feeling good about me for having like gotten my things done. And that's what I want to talk about. You know, my camera probably won't capture it. I'm looking at the display. But the post-rain sky tonight is incredible. I like outside. I don't think I was meant to work in an office. I just finished recording PKN. There were some tech problems in it, which leave me very frustrated. And even now, do you see this? I hit stop recording. It's not supposed to look like that anymore. So gosh, I hope the recording is okay. Just now, I have learned that Ted Cruz has dropped out of the race and Donald Trump is the Republican nominee, or the presumptive Republican nominee. This is great news. It's not great news because I love Donald Trump. I don't. I'm not a huge fan of Donald Trump. It's great news because I love representative democracy. In Iran, the supreme leader chooses 12 members of the Guardians Council. And pretty much every adult male is eligible to run for president, but they have to be vetted by the 12 members of the Guardians Council. So those people choose who can run for president. And then the people just get to pick among the people that are pre-selected by the powers that be. It seemed like America had the same system and we didn't even know it. It seemed like they were going to go to a contested convention and then choose someone who didn't get the most votes. The Democratic side has similar sketchy things with these superdelegates. But even though it's a sketchy system that makes it possible for sketchy things to happen, it appears that both on the Republican and the Democratic side, the candidates with the most votes are the people that we'll be choosing between this November. And that's why I'm happy. I'm concerned about Painkiller Nearly. What's happening is it won't shut down. It's unresponsive. You can't see it. That's supposed to be my recording software. And you probably won't see it, but the file is there. It's like 1.8 gigs, but it doesn't have the length on like how long the video is in Explorer, which is a bad sign. And I tried to drag it into Premiere Pro, and it says it's like not a valid format or a corrupted file or something. So I'm uploading it to Google, which you can kind of see, YouTube. But I predict when it gets to the processing, it's going to say something's wrong with the file. It stinks too, because I know Kyle went out this morning and bought a new computer so that he could be prepared to record this tonight. He was doing it from this like crappy Airbnb thing, and he's going to have a real hard time. I know his room was bad, which you guys would see if PKN worked, but his room was bad, so he has to go get a different room. It was terrible. Like, my standards are pretty low on rooms, but this window didn't have any glass. Like, it was just paper to the outside. And like, can you rent out a room where there's no window in the window? Anyway, so they're trying to put him into a better room. Didn't have a chair. He didn't have a place to sit for PKN until he got a chair. And so the bottom line is, it looks like there's technical difficulties with PKN. And I'm doing everything I can to fix it, but no promises. This video has failed to process. I don't think there's going to be a PKN this week. Well, it's 11 at night. It is time for me to start my last task of the day, which is rendering so that you guys can watch this tomorrow. And that'll be, I think, Wednesday. I think today's Tuesday, and you'll be watching this on Wednesday. You're only one day behind, as you like to be. It was a good day, I think. I got a bunch of things done. Some of them vlog-worthy, some of them not. But all together, I feel happy with the way that today went. And I feel pretty happy with the way that the vlog went. I thought to me, sounded smart during that whole Iran thing. You can judge for yourself. Anyway, time to start editing.